Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good morrow. Whatever time of day it is for you guys. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Rosie Reads here. Today is a part of a new series that I'm going to start, which is called the Melanie Martinez book tag. And I will be doing this for all of her albums, apart from the Dollhouse EP. This video is about her songs from her newest EP, which is After School. Don't know if you've heard about that. If you have, then you are a legend. And I thought it would be fun to recommend some books that I thought would go with the songs, or try make them go with the songs, I guess. So I have 7 books ready to show you, and this is going to be really fun for me because I love talking about Melanie Martinez and I love talking about books. Also, I'm actually working on a book, so I've planned it out, but I need to start writing it, which I will probably end up doing after this video. I hope you're all doing well, and let's get fucking into the video, guys. Let's dive in. It's called The Bakery, and this is one of her most popular songs from the EP. It's the only song at the minute that has a video to it, and it's amazing. Check this TikTok out. Melanie used to work at a bakery while she was in high school, but she unenthusiastically worked there. She worked there because she needed money to invest in her art and her music. So she didn't really want to work in the bakery, but like, she did. I think the perfect book for this is Chocolat. I have never seen this and I have never read this, but I do know that it's about this woman called Vianne, and she arrives in this French village, and they think, oh, she's like a demonic spirit or something because she doesn't go to church or anything like that. And she goes to this French village to try and open up her own chocolate boutique, chocolate bakery. She has plans for an Easter chocolate festival. It divides the whole community in a conflict which is named Church Not Chocolate Battle. She makes chocolate eclairs and everything like that. The father thinks that she is a danger to his flock. So that's Chocolat, and that is The Bakery for you. The second song in the album is Notebook, which is my favorite. Boundaries and a woman getting taken for granted, pretty much. I just love the song because of the lyrics. I love the lyrics and I love the beat, and that is why I love it, because it really hits home with me. The book that I chose for this song is After. I have never read this or watched it. I was thinking, oh, the lyrics really gives me the vibe of After, because she didn't sign up for it. She had a boyfriend, she was a good girl, and then she meets this bad boy, and he's apparently very rude to her, and they end up going to his dorm together, and they end up making out, and then she ends up with him. So in a way, she is kind of taken for granted. That's the way I'm thinking. I could be wrong. It was actually quite mixed with Notebook, because at first I was thinking Game of Thrones because Daenerys is taken for granted at first. But then I was very confused, so I ended up choosing After. Comment below if you think Game of Thrones would have been a better book to be chosen for Notebook, for the song Notebook. So, I don't know. Anyway, the third song is called Test Me. Was all about accepting challenges that build up your strength and your wisdom. And what more than a romantic book could do this. I chose P.S. I Love You by Cecilia Ahern because this is all about this girl named Holly and her childhood sweetheart, Jerry, had recently passed away, and she found out that he left her all these notes, and she finds some of them challenging, and it cheers her up as well. And the man who knows her better than anyone sets out to teach her that life goes on. So that is strength and wisdom put together in just one book, and I thought, yes. And the quote that reminds me of this is the fourth song. We are halfway, nearly well, sort of halfway. It's brain and heart. Is all about being balanced with your decisions. So you need to feel just as much as you think. And this is how I thought about this book that I chose for this one. You need to think about it as much as you feel about it. I chose A Tiny Bit Marvellous by Dawn French, which is obviously a biography or autobiography. I just thought this would go because when did humans start to separate brain and heart as if they could stay alive alone? Flip it around the other way. Obviously with biographies you feel for the people that you're reading about, and you also think about it as much. It's equal either way. Next is Numbers. All about overworking and being underpaid and pretty much being treated like shit while you work. And for this, I thought Part of Your World would be very good for this prompt, as in this, Ariel is obviously known as the silent, voiceless queen of Atlantica, and Ursula fucking treats her like shit, and she's feeling like shit because Ursula's ruling Prince Eric's land because they never defeated her. And then Ariel discovers that her father's alive, and like she finds herself returning to the world and a prince she never imagined she'd see again. Will Ariel be able to overthrow the murderous villains set on destroying her home and the world she once longed to be a part of? It just goes. I also have a candle lit in the background, if you are wondering why the light is like sort of flickering this way. It's because I have a candle in the background. Also, the quote that reminded me of this is, "I'm just a chicken giving you the egg." It just goes so well, does that quote, with that book. Also, next up is It's all about detachment and attachment. When you're attached, you have the potential to get hurt, but you can also feel the depth of love, whereas when you're detached, you can't feel the same level of love as an attached person. You can save yourself from getting hurt. The book that I chose for this is The Taking of Annie Thorne. Basically, it's about two sisters. One of them, the younger one, she goes missing one night and then she doesn't come back. And there's a search party and everything for her, and everyone thought the worst, as in everyone thought she'd been killed or sexually abused. But then she miraculously came back, but the older sister realised that she wasn't the same sister that she knew. And the lyric that reminded me of this was, "Love yourself. I'm every little Christmas." Because obviously she lost her sister, and Well, detachment and attachment in the same book, because she's attached because obviously her little sister went missing for quite a bit. But then she's detached because she thinks she's not the same. She thinks she's changed. Am I doing good? I think I am. The last song of this album is called Field Trip. I don't know why, but this gives me Weekend vibes. Shout out to all my Weekend fans out there. EXO to We Overdose, guys. If you're not a Weekend fan, you won't get that. But if you are, my guys and my gals, love you all. EXO fans. She just gives me EXO vibes, really, in Field Trip for some unknown reason. Field Trip was so hard. Like, I struggled to find a book to represent Field Trip. I don't know if any of you are gonna fucking agree with me with this one. It's about fertility, and it's about family, and it's a personal song to Melanie herself. Basically, she is a Taurus, but she was a Scorpio rising, and her mother was going to call her Katarina, which means light, but instead she called her Melanie, which means darkness. It's also about the contrasts of, obviously, pure light and darkness. It made her think about, like, whatever imaginary box people put you in, you will stay true to that. And you will literally not care about it. And for Field Trip, I actually chose Lakewood. So I'm not entirely sure if this is a good choice for Field Trip, because I thought family, and she works a lot. I've not read any of these, actually. I've not read any of these books, actually. I've read a little bit of Chocolat, and I've read a little bit of Part of Your World, but that's about it. But that is all I have for you guys today. If you liked it, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and comment below what your favourite song is from this album, and what you would choose for your favourite song. Like, could be a movie that reminds you of your favourite song from this album, or it could be a book that reminds you of your favourite song from this album. And I shall see you in the next video. Stay luscious. Merry Christmas, or Happy Yule, or Happy Holidays. Love you all, and I will probably end up seeing you Boxing Day or something with a newish video. This is only part 1, so stay tuned for part 2. Bye. Let it snow.